please come to the club meeting tonight at 7 p.m.
This is WY7AA, and tonight at 7 o'clock we'll be holding the Shiwai Amateur Radio Club monthly meeting here on the 775 linked repeaters. I'm going to get things started a little bit early and just take some early check-ins, for the meeting tonight. If you can give me a call, give me your name, and we'll get you on the list. And we'll run down, get things started up at 7 p.m. So anybody looking to check in early for the club meeting, please call now, WY7AA.
Evening RJ, M7GT. PC3, CPO William.
Mike.
Right, got Greg in there, KC3 CPO, and you doubled, Mike, you doubled with him, but I got you in there as well. Got you in there, Mike, thanks.
KI7BSL, James.
And 7JJY, George. And 7HTS, Gary.
All right, James, George, and Gary, your call sign one more time if you would, N7 Hotel Tango Sierra.
Roger, November 7, Hotel Tango Sierra.
I should have trusted my instincts. Thank you for checking in early, I appreciate it. Any other early check-ins for the Shiwai club meeting, June club meeting, please call now.
KJ7OET, Josh.
All right, Josh, KJ7O, and I'm sorry, I missed the end of your call. You're a little bit scratchy.
Oscar Echo Papa.
Excellent. Thank you very much. I'm trying to do too many things at one time here as well, so that doesn't help either. Any other early check-ins, please call now.
N6UA, you might give me Mike's call sign.
KC7SNO repeater.
I'm sorry, I didn't get a name on that. N6UA, or are you new to the group? Got you. Thank you, Doug.
Sorry about that. And do you have a call for Mike?
You were going to ask me that. Mike, sorry, I screwed up your call again, and if I try to guess, I'm going to screw it up. Can you give me your call one more time for Doug? Doug, it looks like he's away from the microphone. I'll look it up here for you in a second. If I guess, I got too many things going on in my head right now.
Okay, I believe it's W7MJK.
That's very close. I'm not quite sure that's it, but that's pretty darn close. I'll get that for you in a minute. Any other check-ins for the Shiwai meeting? Please call now.
Good evening, RJ. This is KJ7ITX checking in.
Thanks, Sean, for checking in. I'm trying to send out the link to the group right now, and I am not very good at multitasking. I'm quite certain of that. So I'll get that out here in a minute. If anybody, well, everybody that's here right now should have access to the repeater, but I am sending a link out to the club for the YouTube live that Sean is helping us out with this evening. So if you get bored listening to your radio, you can listen to us on YouTube. Any other check-ins for the Shiwai, early check-ins for the Shiwai Club meeting?
Brian?
Brian, thank you. You got cut off your call and you were real staticky. Come back one more time, just see if it's just a one-time thing.
Hello, Delta 7, Romeo, Quebec Uniform, Brian.
Sounds good. And yeah, for some reason you had some interference in the background. Thanks, Brian. And just a reminder to everybody, this is the link system. So this is the 82 up on Sherman Hill, the 775 in Cheyenne, the 165 out in Albin, and the 444-125 out in Scotts Bluff. So when you key up, give it a half second, let everybody link up. Otherwise, nobody's going to hear the beginning part of your message. So, saying all that, is there anyone that wants to check in early from any of the outlying areas? Anybody on the Albin or Scotts Bluff or Laramie repeater? All right, not hearing anybody. Any other check-ins early for the Shiwai June Club meeting? This is WY7AA. Please call now.
N7RI.
Good evening, Bill. Good to hear you in there. Thanks for checking in. Any other early check-ins for the Shiwai meeting? Please call.
N7MJ.
N7MJ, I owe you an email to put my name on a list. I keep forgetting to do that, so I'll get that to you one of these days. I know you already know I'm out there, but thanks, Jack. Any other early check-ins? Give a shout now. All right, I'm going to kind of let this sit for a little bit. If you want to talk amongst yourselves, I'll come back in a couple of minutes and take a few more check-ins. You'll be tired of hearing my voice soon enough this evening. I'm not going to spend any more time than I need to. WY7AA standing by, about 20 minutes to the beginning of the meeting.
Okay, while there's space available here real quick, I'm going to correct RJ just a little bit. Guys, realize this. When you key up your radio, there has to be a PL that goes out to the repeater. The repeater has to recognize that PL and turn on. Also has to go to the link radio. The PL on the link radio has to turn on. The repeater on the other end, the one up at Albin, the one up on Beacon Hill, and the one at Stage Hill also has to receive that PL, but it has to recognize it and say, oh, okay, I need to turn on and do something. So give it a second to a second and a half when you key up your mics, and then start talking. That gives the time for all the PLs to work. Thank you much, and 7JJY.
KC7SNO repeater.
This is WY7AA. It's 10 minutes to the top of the hour. At that time, we'll be starting the June Shiwai Amateur Radio Club meeting here on the 775 and associated linked repeaters. If anybody's looking to check in early, please call now and we'll get you on the list.
This is WY7KY checking in.
Good evening, Tom. Thanks for checking in. I got you on the list. Just so everybody knows, we also got James, W7JNB on the YouTube channel as well. Any other check-ins, early check-ins for the club meeting tonight?
WB7GR.
Greg, thanks for checking in. We'll be starting up here shortly. WY7AA. Anybody looking to check in early, give a shout.
And 7BAM.
Good evening, Brian. Thanks for checking in early. We'll give you the floor here in a little bit at the beginning of the meeting as usual. WY7AA. WY7AA, calling for any check-ins. Anybody listening out on any of the outlying repeaters? The 82 out in Albin or over Scotts Bluff Way up at Torrington area. Any check-ins from the outlying areas? Please call now.
KC7SNO repeater.
All right, we had somebody in there. Can you give a shout back? You're a little quiet, so I'll have to listen close.
VR, Don in Torrington.
Okay, Don, I got you a little louder that time. The beginning of your transmission got cut off. If you can give it a second for everything to link up, I could use your call one more time.
KF7VR, Don in Torrington.
Excellent. Thank you, Don. I appreciate it. KF7VR, glad to have you on for the meeting this evening. This is WY7AA. Just a couple more minutes. Any other early check-ins for the Chi-Y meeting, please call now.
p.m.
Well, I'd say that's the Magic Tones. This is WY7AA, getting started on the June Shy-Y club meeting. We're going to be on air club meeting, obviously. This is a linked repeater system. The 775 in Cheyenne, the 82 up on Sherman Hill, the 165 over in Albin, and the 125 over in Scotts Bluff. If you are going to call in, please key up, give it a second or two for the repeaters to all match up so you don't cut off the beginning of your transmission, and then the floor will be yours. Tonight's meeting, the theme or the plan that I've got is I'm going to take another round or two of check-ins. We've already got 18 people checked in. I'm going to let timer time out, or the repeater time out. So I'm going to take a couple more rounds of check-in, see if anybody else wants to check in. Then we're going to go down through our normal committee reports. We only have a couple of early things for old business. I don't have anything on the new business agenda. We'll go through those real quick, and then kind of at the tail end, we'll do what we normally do, the introductions, and then that way everyone can kind of have an extra little moment to provide any fill-ins or any input on our subjects tonight. So we'll start out here with, time out one more time. Also, we are not, it's not very conducive to taking club votes on this format, so the only things we have to vote on this evening would be the Secretary's report and Treasurer's report, and we're going to postpone that, so we'll read these again at the July meeting, and we will be able to vote on those at the July meeting. Let's go for another round. Any other check-ins for the Shy-Y June club meeting? Please call now.
WA7WYW.
KJ7FC.
KE7BOZ.
YH.
Okay, I got WA7WYW, KJ7FC, KE7BOZ, and I'm sorry, Doug, is that N7YH? I'm still not 100% on your new call.
Scotter, it's K7YH.
Thanks for the correction. I should have known that. I'll get this right one of these days. Any other check-ins for the club meeting? Please call now.
Kilo Alpha 7, Victor India Sierra.
KE5BJ. W7JSC.
And thank you everyone for spacing things out nicely so I can write at a reasonable pace. K7VIS, KE5BJ, and W7JSC. Thank you very much. Any other check-ins for the Cheyenne club meeting, June club meeting? Please call now.
KC7SNO repeater.
Well, KC7SNO just checked in. Thank you, repeater, for checking in. One last thing, I'm going to give one more call for any of the outlying repeaters. Anyone from Scotts Bluff or Laramie, sometimes those are a little bit quieter. So anybody from the outlying areas want to check in now, please call. All right, hearing none, that's a good list. I'm going to start out the kind of the normal format of the business meeting. Like I say, we'll go through our reports, have a little discussion on old business and new business, and then we'll kind of go down through the list, give everybody a chance to put any input on that they might want to on the topics, and kind of let us know what they've been doing in radio lately. Let's start out with Doug, N6UA. Can you give us the report from the May meeting? The floor is yours, Doug.
WY7AA and the group from N6UA. Secretary's report from May of 2020, 14th of May. Basically 21 check-ins online with Zoom teleconferencing. We tried that and seemed to be relatively successful. From the treasurer, we have 33 paid-up members to date, taking in $315.15 and paid out 70 in expenses with a balance of $26,969.10. And the report was approved by a show of hands, which is much easier to do on Zoom. Breaks. Secretary read the April minutes and approved again by a show of hands. Brian reported that there were no Aries Races activities, and National Weather Service did hold an online Skywarn class on the 13th of May and an advanced class on the 21st, which I attended. And let's see, VE testing. They did a VE test session, Beth holding that on the 16th of the month with the COVID-19 processes in place. Greg held technician classes over at the EMA starting on the 16th, and I guess that was fairly successful. There was no tech committee report other than some work had been done on the A2 repeater, linking that to the 775. And if that happens, that we get the repeaters linked, and it sounds like that's going. The Laramie Club can join us on our meeting this month. Old business, RJ discussed how to hold meetings in the future and whether we would do alternating between on-air and online. That was to be decided, so June is the on-air meeting that we're holding now, and I'll let RJ talk about HamCon when it gets around to that. We discussed it a little at that particular point in the May meeting. Under new business, Bill, N7RI, presented the 2021 budget to the club, and that was approved. And Field Day was still a to be determined. We'll discuss that a little bit later. But that is the result of the Secretary's report, with the meeting ending at a few minutes before 8 o'clock. So fairly efficient, quick meeting using Zoom. Back to Ned from N6UA.
Thank you, Doug. Like I say, we're not going to vote on the Secretary's report or the Treasurer's report this evening. We'll do that next month's meeting. But does anybody have any questions, comments, or corrections for the Secretary's report? Please call now, WY7AA. I'm sorry, somebody called in there, but there's too much static. Can you try again? Okay, I think I got you. I think that was Bob. I think I got you in there. I'm guessing that's Bob checking in. And I'm sorry, WB7G, I think. Is that correct? Maybe Tom, WY7KY, can you correct me?
Yeah, that's Bob, Whiskey Bravo 7 Tango, WY7KY relay.
Thank you, sir. You've got very good ears. All right, thank you, Bob. All right, let's move down the list to the Treasurer's Report. Bill, N7RI. You can give us the Treasurer's Report now.
Good evening, everybody. For the month of May, we took in $50 and we spent $149. Our ending balance was $26,879.78. We are at the end of May. We had 35 paid members. Let's drop here. At the end of last fiscal year, we had 61 paid members. This year, we started out real strong with membership paying dues, but it's kind of flattened out here. So we will take checks, PayPal, and if you really need to, I'll meet you at Tractor Supply to take cash. N7RI.
All right, and Bill, we had, you said $149 payments. Anything interesting in there?
That was just the High West and the P.O. Box.
Excellent, thank you. Any other questions for Bill for the Treasurer's Report? Please call now, WY7AA.
This is WA7WYW. Did I understand the membership is 26 members?
Negative. This year so far we have 35 paid members. The ending balance was $26,000 in our checking account.
With 35 paid members?
That's correct, through the end of May.
I'm an old member, and I couldn't understand 35 paid members. Let's get the dues paid up, guys. I was the treasurer for some time, and this is WA7WYW, by the way. And it was a hard job to get dues collected, and I know it's going to be a hard job, even worse now. So those guys that are online that haven't paid their dues, get in there and pay those dues or send a check. Thank you.
All right, thanks for the comments. Yeah, and this year has not been the easiest just without us being in person, which is what most people are used to. But by all means, send a check, send cash via PayPal, or contact Bill directly at tres.shyarc.gmail.com. I got that pretty close. You can send an email to myself at the club email address as well. All right, I'm going to pause. Is there any other check-ins for the club meeting, the Shy-Y club meeting? Please call now, WY7AA.
KG7TVX.
KJ7DBX. Your name, please?
Jason, KG, Kilo Golf 7, Tango Victor X-Ray.
Got it now. Thank you, Jason. Any other check-ins? Please call now. WY0WY. And WY0WY. You got a little scratchy. Was that correct, or was there one more letter?
KC7SNO repeater.
Yeah, WY0WYL.
Copy that. Thank you. Any other check-ins? Please call now. Alrighty. Let's move down the list to Brian, N7BAM, the Aries Races Report. Brian, do you have anything for us this evening?
Thank you, RJ, and hello, everybody. The first announcement I got is we're going to be doing Nary's Racing Meeting on June 29th, and that's going to be 7 p.m. out of Laramie County Emergency Management. The second one I got is just COVID-19 precautions. Wash your hands for about 20 seconds. Cough into your elbow. Don't touch your face. Keep your social distance of 6 feet. And if you're not feeling good, stay home. That's all I got, RJ. I'll turn it back over to you. WI7AA and 7BAM.
Excellent. Thank you, Brian, for that information. And yeah, it'll be good to have an in-person meeting. June 29th, 7 p.m. at the Laramie County EMA. And correct me, Brian, you said it was going to be kind of show and tell for Go Kits?
That is correct. So yeah, I think I sort of called it an e-com tailgate. So if you got a emergency kit or something like that, and how you would set it up in your vehicle just in case you ever had to operate out of your vehicle, how would you go about that? So and just face to face, and everybody can sort of get ideas off each other how they would run their equipment.
Excellent. Thank you, Brian. Any questions for Brian? Please call now. Okay, hearing none. Moving down the list, Technical Committee report. George and 7JJY. What do you got for us, George?
Thank you, RJ, and good evening to everybody on the net. 2 points here. First one is, yes, the little grunge on the 8.2 repeater, still kind of eluding me to figure out why. I've talked with a couple of the other guys, and they are head-scratching also. I did kind of narrow it down, maybe one suggestion to change out the cables going from the duplexer into the radio itself. I did order some new cables. I have them. They arrived today. Unfortunately, I can't get up there. There's probably a muddy road right now. They had 6 inches of snow up on the mountain. So I will, as soon as I can get up there and get them replaced, I will do that. Break. For now, I have a bandpass filter that has been installed in it. Seems to have maybe cured the problem for now, but we still haven't narrowed down to the actual culprit of what is doing it. So we'll just kind of do whenever we can figure things out, or whenever I'm up there and it happens and I can get up there and start doing some shaking the cables or whatever I need to do, hit it with a big hammer. Not literally. Alrighty, break. But as soon as I can get up there, I will change those out. Point number 2. Remember to key your mic, wait 1 to 1.5 seconds before talking. Okay, I'll reiterate that again, that the PL coming out of your radios has to contact the repeater. The repeater has to decode that, say I need to turn on. The link radio has to recognize that the repeater needs to come up and work, and it needs to turn around and spit out a PL going to the other repeaters. At the other repeaters, that has to recognize that PL coming across and say, oh, I need to go to work, I need to turn on. Then I need to turn on the repeater. So it takes a little bit for that to go through that process, guys. So you kind of hang loose. And I'm going to break. The other part of it is when you get up in you guys' mics too loud, too hard, then you kind of deviate a little bit and you kind of do a whole bunch of extra wind noise. Let's kind of back off the mics a little bit like I just did and kind of talk into maybe the side of the mic or the top of the mic, not directly into it, because sometimes I can only understand about maybe 70% of the conversation. Alrighty, I'll turn it back to Ned. Everybody have a great evening, and 7JJY. Thank you.
Thank you, George, for the report. Does anybody else have questions for George on the tech committee side? Please call now, WY7AA. All right, hearing none, we'll move down the list. VE testing and training, Beth, KJ7FC. Good to have you on the meeting tonight. Do you have anything to report for us?
Thank you, RJ. This is KJ7FC. Nothing much to report. I didn't get a hold of Greg to see how his test session went this past Saturday, but I know that he had quite a few students that he was excited, were ready to take the test. As for other training, I'm not aware of any. The next VE test for our group is in August, so we still have a couple months from there. Other than that, I don't have much to report.
All right, well, thank you for the report, Beth. I believe Greg's on the call as well. So, N7GT, you got any results from your test session this past weekend? Please call now.
WY7AA N7GT. So, I had 10 people in the class. There were 2 that weren't able to attend the test session. So, of the 8, there were 2 that weren't there. Of the 8 that were there, all but 1 passed the test. The session was also opened to the public and had people coming up from Colorado, from Douglas, and quite a ways away. The ultimate result were 11 people set for the test. There were 9 people that passed, and of those 9, there were 2 that came in with nothing and walked out with a general. We did have a couple people attempt the extra, but they weren't ready for it. So we're going to do another test session in August, and then also do a class again for those that weren't able to attend this last one, thanks to COVID screwing everything up for us. 7GT, back to net.
Thank you, Greg. Sounds like you did a good job turning a few more people loose on the streets with their call signs. Good to hear. I've already gotten some emails from the club, or to the club from some of them, so that's excellent. That's the end of my committee reports. Did anybody else have any other? I don't think we have any other outstanding committees, but please call now if you've got any.
WY7KY.
Tom, WY7KY. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, RJ. I just wanted to let everybody know that the next time that we can meet in person, that we have Gary, N7HTS, who I believe is checked in on the net tonight. He has offered to do a talk about the loops that he builds. So our demo for the next time we get together looks like Gary has volunteered to bring in some loops and that he's made and show us what they do. So we want to thank Gary for volunteering to do that. He had been talking to Greg, WB7GR, and I got the message that way. So anyway, look forward to that. Thanks, Gary, for volunteering to do that, and we'll be in touch when our next live in-person club meeting is. That's all I have. Back to you, RJ. WY7AA, WY7KY.
KC7SNO repeater.
All right, thank you, Tom. That sounds good. Yeah, anybody that's looking to do a presentation for the club, by all means, give Tom a shout, WY7KY, and he'll get you scheduled up. We appreciate it. Let's move on. Well, one quick, any other check-ins for the Skyway meeting, please call now.
WY7ATH.
Arnie, good to have you in there. Thanks for checking in. Any other check-ins for the Skyway meeting, please call now. All right, let's get started on old business. I've got a couple of things in here, so you're going to have to listen to me talk too much again. The 8-2 anchor project that UARC is working on. There's an update. Brad, the president of University Radio Club, sent an email to the Forest Service with the engineered stamp drawings for the anchor system and the completed proposal. So those are all done and into the Forest Service now. A break? The Forest Service representative that he's working with was very pleased with what they have gotten done. Sounds like quite a few people in the engineering side of the Forest Service have already started looking at these, and things seem to be progressing well. They understand that budget restrictions, things, whatever's going on with the global pandemic is quite likely going to slow things down. Sounds like the Forest Service is being fairly understanding and trying to work with them. So there's no real action items, but just to let people know that it's continuing and UARC is making progress. The next thing I've got for old business is upcoming club meetings. So the club officers kind of decided when we started doing these meetings remotely that we would do the repeater system 1 month and then try to do a video conference the next month. So that means for the July club meeting, we're tentatively scheduled for a Zoom chat, a Zoom call, which worked out quite well, I think, last month. That being said, there is a chance, probably a fair chance, I would guess, but I don't want to predict, that we can be live at the Emergency Management Agency for our next meeting. So if we can do a live session out there, we'll let people know. If people aren't comfortable coming out, maybe we will try to do a loop in a Zoom or something at the same time so people can still attend or at least see it from a distance. So stay tuned. I'll get out information as soon as we know where we're going to have our next meeting. Any questions, comments on those two topics? Next month's meeting or the 8-2 project? Please call now. WY7AA. All right, hearing no comments. The next one is HamCon Wyoming 2020 update. Well, the update is we officially are canceled for 2020. N1TEK, Rick, our section manager, notified us to shut it down for 2020. So we've started the process of closing down, notifying people and letting people know that we will not be hosting the event this season. The group was coming to that conclusion on their own, but he decided it was time, and so we are officially shut down for 2020. I'd like to propose next Tuesday we have our normal meeting break. We'll have our normal meeting on the 105 repeater the 105 repeater at 7 p.m. next Tuesday. Make sure we got everything wrapped up, and then discuss what we're going to do going forward, if anything. Any questions, comments on that, please call now.
WY7KY, RJ and I did get in contact, as you saw, with Visit Cheyenne on that issue, and did a few modifications to the website, but I haven't put anything out there officially yet. WY7KY.
Thank you, Tom. Okay, I seem to be having some radio problems. Am I still getting through? Yes. Stand by one moment, if you would. Okay, WY7KY, WY7AA, am I on, and how's my audio?
Yes, you are on, and your audio is lighter than the other radio, but readable.
Well, I will speak up. Sorry about that. I have no idea why, but my radio just started turning off for no apparent reason. So, fortunately, I had another radio nearby that I could plug in real quick. Thanks, Tom, for that. Okay, and the main topic I have for this evening is Field Day. Field Day 2020 is going to be different. Field Day 2020, multiple clubs are doing different things. I have seen some clubs that are actually going to end up doing just about the same as they normally would. The ARRL has changed the rules. They've amended the rules for this year. There's a couple things. Home stations, if you want to work from home, you can do so. Break. Normally, for Field Day, if a home station works with commercial power, works another home station, there's no points given for that. This year, essentially anyone can work anyone. There are other changes that have been done. Clubs can have cumulative scores. People can add their scores together and enter it as a club. There's several small changes. I wanted to find out what people's interest level is and how much effort we want to put into something. If we want to just do some QRP rigs out in the park. Break. If people just want to work on their own, I myself probably will not be available for Field Day this year. So rather than putting a lot of time into planning something, and if nobody's interested, I don't want to do a lot of that. So I'm trying to gauge some interest level and some ideas. If anybody's got anything pertinent right now, we can please bring it up. We can discuss, and then we'll have people kind of throw out their ideas when we go through the list as well. WY7AA, any comments? Please call now.
KC7SNO repeater.
Okay, I'm not hearing anything right now. Like I said, I'd like to kind of discuss this as we go through the list. But before we do that, does anybody else have any old business they would like to bring up for the club? Please call now. All right, not hearing anything. Does anybody have any new business? Any new business for the Shiaway Club meeting? Please call now, WY7AA. Right, hearing none. Any other business anybody wants to bring up before we run down the list? Please call now. All right, now you're making me self-conscious. That make me think nobody wants to talk to me. All right, so we're going to go down the list and give everybody a chance to kind of check in. Let us know what you're been doing on ham radio, if anything. But also, please, we'd like some input on field day. If you are interested, if you have any ideas, if you're willing to help out a little bit, that would be great, rather than the same handful of people. I'm guessing we're not going to have a large-scale event by any means, but just throw out some ideas, and if you have an interest level. All right, I'm going to start at the top of the list. N7GT, Greg, what have you been doing recently, and you got any field day ideas?
N7GT, no, I don't have any field day ideas. I've been busy collecting Workdall States. I finished 30 meters last week and 20 meters this week, or this weekend. So that's been good. 4 states remaining on 40 and about 8 states remaining on 17. So working towards the 5-band Workdall States. Had a very good class this past week. Finished up and looking forward to doing the next one or offering the class again for those that weren't able to attend. And then my kid tells me, 8-year-old, says that he wants to learn all about ham radio and get his license. So I guess I know what Daddy's going to be doing over the summer. Once he gets back to school, his homework level is atrocious. So he won't have a lot of free time. And that's about it. Back to you, N7GT.
Young new ham. That'd be exciting. Next on the list, KC3 CPO. Anything new and any ideas on field day?
Hey guys, hello the net, William here. I do not have any ideas about field day, but if I'm in town, I'll be there. Don't have any good radio stories, although I was in New York City this past week, and I've got plenty of stories on that if anyone wants to hear them. But, yep, I'll hand it back over to you, RJ, KC3 CPU.
Thank you, William. I appreciate it. Thanks for checking in. Mike, W7MJK, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on tonight. Yeah, so let's see. I've been working on my HF antenna. I put some more ground radials out, and I kind of tuned it up a bit, and I got it going 10 to 80 meters, so I'm pretty happy with it. I was running some whisper tests, and I got a hit in your hometown of Antarctica. William helped me, CPO there, helped me get my DMR radio going, so I made some contacts on DMR. I got it to Wyoming,
group in, and I forget what it's called, the Colorado group down there. And I'm still missing one repeater in Cheyenne I got to figure out how to put in. So next up is a hotspot, and I was thinking I probably need to talk to Doug, because I think I started talking to Doug about he was buying a hotspot. So yeah, I'll get there. Bye for now. Whiskey 7, Mike Juliet, Kilo.
Well, thanks for coming out tonight, Mike. Appreciate it. And yep, the hotspot's a fun little deal. Don't ask me any questions. I just plug it in and it works. James, KI7, BSL. Any input tonight? What you've been up to, or any field day suggestions, thoughts?
Good evening, all. No real suggestions for field day. Of course, I'm just a tech, and I just run 2 meter, 70 centimeter gear. I'm going to be putting my good antenna on my bike here shortly after I get some better coax. Other than that, nothing new on my end.
Well, thank you, James, for checking in. We appreciate it. N7, JJY, George, how about you? What have you got going on?
Okay, so I talked to William, CPO, back in New York on DMR through an open spot. Kind of made his day. He was pretty happy about that. So we were both going, I threw the hotspot and he went through a repeater back there, so that worked out quite well. I will not be around for field day. I will be out of state. So I'd like to be around. I know there's some antenna going on type work stuff, and I'm going to let Greg reiterate on that stuff. But I wished I was going to hang around and kind of help you guys out. But like I said, I'm going to be out for about a week and a half, enjoying some weather, I guess. We'll see how that works out. Other than that, just getting some other projects done. Started a couple, got them finished. Just kind of waiting for the cables to show up for the A2. And I'm going to work on that. I'll poke my finger in that and see if I can get something to act right. Back to Ned and some JJY. Have a good evening.
Well, thanks for all that, George. And yeah, it's kind of cool when you can catch a DMR, even if it's a DMR contact. It's still fun to be able to talk to somebody that far away. Right, N7HTS. And I'm sorry, I forgot your name already. The floor is yours. You got anything for us this evening?
This is Gary, N7HTS, and like Tom mentioned earlier, I'm going to do a presentation on magnetic loop antennas and my experiences with them and how to build one and so forth. I think that'll be a lot of fun. And also, as far as what I've been up to, I've been getting interested in portable operation. I work a lot of QRP, CW, and I'm thinking about doing some portable operation with the magnetic loops and with some verticals that I've built, and doing maybe parks on the air or summits on the air. But that we'll see what happens with that. So that's an interest that I've had lately. Other than that, I've been working a lot of HF, CW, and mostly QRP, and I enjoy doing that. So that's pretty much it. Okay, yeah, that's pretty much it. So back to you. This is N7HTS.
KC7SNO repeater.
Well, thank you, Gary, for coming out tonight, and we appreciate you volunteering to show off your loop antennas. And yeah, I've been doing some parks on the air recently, not QRP, but I've been enjoying that. It's a lot of fun. If you got any questions, we can catch up afterwards, and I can give you what little bit I know. Next on the list, Josh. think I got it right this time. KJ7OEP. Josh, how are you doing this evening? Got anything for us?
Real quick, am I coming through? Because I usually hit the 820. For some reason, that one has better reception for you guys.
Affirmative, you're coming through good. You're coming through good.
All right, not doing too bad. Got a MMDBM arrived Sunday. Won it and showed up in a couple of days, so I see why they were giving it away. There were no instructions, but within 3 hours I had it up and running. Looking at still trying to decide between the base and the QRP and what I'm going to do, but I'll worry about that after I pass the general. I've been studying for that, and well, other than that, not too much going on. First popped on the MMDBM, T-Start, reflector 1 Charlie, and ended up doing an international net right off the bat. Interesting, it sure makes the world feel a lot smaller. Get that general license and be able to work the other bands, and I think that feeling should be a lot better. Not too much else going on. I am interested in the field day. If nothing else, it'll give me a chance to learn, so hit me up on that, and I'll be taking care of dues next week. The budget should allow it. Other than that, nothing else, and back to you.
Thanks, Josh, for coming out. Josh is one of our brand new hams and brand new club members, so thanks for being there. And yeah, there's a lot of brain power around this group, so and if there's no brain power, they'll at least give you a good opinion. Well, they'll give you an opinion. At least I will. All right, thank you. N6UA, Doug, what do you got going? Any input tonight?
Thanks, RJ. This is N6UA, Doug, and been playing around on 6 meters with the openings that have been going on for the last little bit. They seem to move around considerably, but yeah, that's been a lot of fun. As far as field day goes, yeah, I'd like to possibly do something over the EMA area, out in the lot over there. And willing to assist and help out wherever I can to get things set up. That's about it. Thanks, RJ, N6UA.
Copy that. Thank you, Doug. What do we got on the list? Hey, KJ7ITX, Sean. Sean, the YouTube master tonight. What have you got for us this evening?
Good evening, everybody. I don't have an awful lot to contribute. There are currently 9 viewers of the YouTube stream, in case anybody's interested. I haven't been doing a whole lot with radio lately. Work has been keeping me very busy. But RJ was kind enough to loan me his ICOM 7000, so I have been able to experience some sideband work on VHF, UHF. Thanks to those of you that have put up with me doing that. And I also ordered a Buddy Stick from the same company that makes Buddy Pole, because I want to try some portable HF applications in the up in the mountains maybe. Don't really have any input on field day, but maybe if we nailed down a plan, I would try to participate. Anyway, I don't have anything else to share. Back to you, RJ, KJ7ITX.
Excellent. Thank you, Sean. KD7RQU, Brian. Brian, what have you got for us this evening?
Oh, nothing too much. I went out to the park today. Me and N7MJ were the only ones there, but it was fun, I thought, just to say hi to Jack and stuff like that. And I think that Tuesday lunch in park thing is awesome, and I'll be there next Tuesday if anyone wants to come as well. And I agree with Doug and there. I would like to do field day at EMA. If somebody's going to do that, that'd be great. I'd be out there too. Other than that, there's nothing else here. KD7RQ, back to Q.
Sounds good. Thank you, Brian. And yeah, so if we, just to touch on that, if we did want to use our normal spot at EMA, there is some paperwork. We'd have to make sure that it's available. So we'll continue and find out what kind of interest there is, and then we'll go from there if it would be in our normal location or if we change it up. So I'm kind of keeping a list of who's had some interest, and we'll discuss further. Thank you, Brian. N7RI, Bill, you got anything for us this evening?
Oh, not much. I've been back to work the last couple of weeks, so there hasn't been a lot of time on the radio. As far as field day, I won't be able to commit to much, maybe an hour here or there from home, but that'll be it for me, N7RI.
Well, thanks for being here, Bill. Tonight, Bill. Thanks for all your help with the treasurer stuff. N7MJ, Jack, do you have any comments for us tonight?
Yes, N7MJ, Jack. Good evening to all of you. Field day, whatever, wherever, and if not, I'll try to do something from the home. And one thing I'm kind of working on, some of you picked up on, trying to stimulate a little more excitement with these new ICOM 7300s. Working on some kind of a challenge, QSO party, not a contest of sorts. If you're interested in participating, send me an email with your name and call sign, and I'll put you on the roster or on the list. And probably another couple of weeks before it gets solidified, and we'll come up with some rules and try to play that game for a while. I think it'll be kind of fun. And again, field day, whatever, wherever, and that's about it on N7MJ.
Thank you, Jack. And just to touch on what you said there, I know you said that you haven't solidified any plans, but you know there's so many people that got 7300s now. I think the plan was a kind of a worked all 7300s, and I believe you were thinking about some ideas. So people who, it's not just for people with 7300s, but those are the people that you'd be chasing. It sounds like. Is that kind of roughly what you're thinking?
Yeah, exactly. Open to anybody, everywhere, anywhere. You do not have to own or operate a 7300 to participate. Basically what it is worked off. What original thought was worked all WAC, worked all continents. Well, worked all Cheyenne. Well, we got more than people in Cheyenne. Worked all county, and then we had gentlemen from Torrington interested. So we'll come up with something workable for anybody here, there, wherever in 7MJ.
Well, anything to drive some excitement is good. I appreciate that, and we'll look forward to seeing how that works out. W7JNB James checked in on the YouTube channel earlier, so in 30 seconds or so he'll hear this, so we'll see if he pops anything up on the chat. WY7KY, Tom, what do you got for us this evening? This is WY7AA.
Well, good evening, RJ. Thanks for running the net and the meeting tonight. Haven't been doing a whole lot except for working some HF. I did get on 6 and 10 meters. I'm actually sitting on the call frequency for 6 right now, and the only thing I see is the JT guys or the FT8 guys up there working. But I have made some contacts on 6 and 10 recently. It's been really, really fun, and even 20 meters was open way past midnight the other night, so trying to get in some late night DX. As far as field day, whatever anybody wants to do is fine. I'd be willing to help out with anything that I can. I do have the, let me let it drop.
KC7SNO repeater.
I do have the club radios, the coax, the MA5B beam still, and I have some flags and banners and stuff like that. So if it actually ends up that we do something out at EMA, I can get that to whoever needs it. Other than that, making a trip to Colorado tomorrow for a follow-up and see how that works out, hopefully good. And that's about it for my side, WY7KY.
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate all your help. And let's keep going down the list. WB7GR, Greg, what are you doing out in Burns this evening?
Good evening, RJ, and the rest of the net. Not a whole lot of radioing been going on here the last week. Been working on some projects around the house. Just knocking off the list. As far as field day goes, I kind of screwed that up. The only weekend available for the man lift rental was field day weekend. Even though I had picked the wrong one, I thought field day was the weekend before, but such is the way it is. It's the only time it was available, and there's 4 or 5 people on the list. So I'll be busy running around climbing towers and taking stuff down on field day, but if something transpires, by golly, I'll definitely drop in and participate a bit. As a suggestion, if nothing comes to fruition as far as a published place and time and whatever, get on the repeaters if you're willing to. Hey, let's go do something. I got free times. Anybody want to go play field day in the park? We don't have to have a prearranged scheduled thing. Everybody listen up on the repeaters, and hey, I'm on the radio if anybody wants to come out to my house, that sort of thing. So there's an idea for you. Thanks for letting me in, and have a pleasant evening. WB7GR.
Well, as always, it's great to talk to you, Greg, and that's a great idea. The repeaters are the best way to go because, we should be all listening to our repeater system all the time. But also there's the Groups I.O., Shy-Y Groups I.O. Shoot an email out to that. That's kind of how the lunch at the park last week happened. I was going to be in Cheyenne, and I said, hey, anybody want to have lunch? And that kind of worked out that way. So, and Greg, I'm back on my really quiet radio just to make you happy. And one of these days I'll hit you up, and we'll dial in the mic gain so it's correct. All right, thanks a lot. N7BAM. Brian, you got anything for us this evening?
WI7AA, or WI7AA and 7BAM. Not really. Been busy with work, but I'll help out with field day since we're not going to be doing super day, and I don't know, the other thing I was sitting here thinking about, I'd like to try to maybe set up an HF antenna off your vehicle and see how that works. So maybe that's an idea too there. So, and maybe meet somewhere and you could do like a NACOM type thing. So just a thought. So I'll throw that out there, and I guess I'll throw it back to you. WI7AA and 7BAM.
Thank you, Brian. And yeah, I was kind of thinking the same thing. It kind of goes right along with the ECOM show and tell that you were talking about for the Aries Races meeting. It's a few days ahead of time, so I don't want to steal all your thunder, but maybe kind of combine some of the ideas of Greg and what Greg said, and what you're thinking is, hey, we're going to go meet here, and a couple people can try to make some HF contacts, but we'll bounce it around. Thank you again. Don, I believe you're up in Torrington. KF7BR, you got anything for us tonight?
recheck RJ, WY7KY.
Yeah, go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, we'll try Don again. I didn't hear him. Anyway, I just wanted another note. I did contact the governor's office also for the proclamation for Amateur Radio Week, and I filled out the online thing, and I haven't heard anything back from her. So hopefully everything went through, and I had them mail that certificate to me. And when I get that, I will post that and let everybody know. But just to let you know, I did do that. It was a little bit late. Don't know if it's going to happen. Fingers crossed. Back to you, RJ, WY7KY.
Excellent. Thank you for doing that, Tom. That's a great publicity for us. So that's good. KF7BR, Don, up in Torrington. You still on with us tonight? All right, I'm not hearing anything. We'll keep going down the list. WA7WYW. The floor is yours. You got anything for us this evening? Nothing heard there. Beth will catch you at the end if you're still there and missed you. KE7BOZ, what do you got? Anything for us for the club tonight?
Good evening, it's RJ and everyone on the net. Haven't done much on the radio recently, and don't really have anything field day other than probably working at home. But hope everyone has a great week. Turn it over to you, KE7BOZ.
Well, thank you, sir. It's good to hear you in there, and at least thanks for coming out to the meeting tonight. K7YH, Doug. We know you're doing something. What's been up with you on ham radio?
All right, RJ, thanks for doing the Club Net. Actually, I haven't been doing a lot. I know that's kind of surprising. I do hop on 10 and 6 when there's openings there, and sometimes I'll hit 20 late at night, get a little DX. Australia and Russia and whatever else might be open out in that direction. Did the GE test with N7GT and helped out a little bit with the class. I can see there's some good stuff coming up. I'm really interested in that mag loop presentation from N7HTS, and I'd also like to maybe talk about doing parks on the air and summits on the air. That sounds good as well. I'm trying to get my portable gear where I'd like it, and I think I'm working for Field Day. If that's the last day of the month or the last weekend of the month, I'm working night shift. But that's about it from here. This is K7YH, back to net.
KC7SNO repeater.
Well, thank you, Doug, for being in there. And yeah, I just realized I've neglected this entire time to say when Field Day is. It is June 27th and 28th, the fourth weekend of June. It's always the fourth weekend of June. So right. Well, good to hear you're at least getting a little bit of ham radio time, but I'm sure you'll be back at it hard and heavy pretty soon. KA7VIS. What's going on with you tonight?
Good evening, RJ and everybody on the net. Not a whole lot going on here, just playing on 20 once in a while, and I'm not for sure on field day because I'll probably help Greg and all the other people with antennas and be ground crew and help with what they need anyway. So other than that, that's about all I've got going on, and just helped out with the VE test on Saturday. That was kind of fun. So there you go. So I'll send it back over to you, RJ, and this is KA7VIS.
Well, I just had a brilliant idea. Thank you, Joe, for sparking it. And it's a captured audience. You get to hear my dumb jokes. We've got a man lift, so we've got height. We can just put an antenna on Greg's head while he's up there working, and people can be making contacts on the ground while he's getting some work done. I think it's a brilliant idea. Yeah, never mind. I need to be in bed, I guess. KE5BJ, Matt, what have you got for us tonight? Sounds like we lost another one. I know he's has to get out early sometimes. W7JSC, what do you got for the club tonight? Anything good?
This is W7JSC. Well, I just comments on field day. If they all decide to go out to the field there by EMA, I'll bring the generator and a tent that I usually bring, and supply power. And last year, of course, it was canceled, so kind of missed out. Anyway, that is the weekend that Greg's going around with the man lift to help people with their towers. I've taken down just about all of my wire antennas, and I just have to climb up to the top and drop the apex of two of them and move my double bazooka up to the top there, and I'll be done. So I don't know if I'm going to need the man lift or not. If we have a day with no wind, no rain, no snow, no hail, and my arthritis isn't acting up too bad, I might just climb up there and drop them. It shouldn't take very long, but I'll let Greg know if I do that. Anyway, that's about all I have. Hope everybody's staying safe. W7JSC.
Well, thank you for the offer for the power, and we'll keep you in the loop. And good luck with your antennas. Hopefully all the planets align for you, and be safe, and hopefully it'll work out. KC7SNO. Oh, wait a minute. Now that was the repeater. The next one, WB7T. Did I get that right? You got anything for the club tonight?
WB7T.
Yeah, I thought I had that wrong. My writing isn't very good tonight. You're a little scratchy getting in, but you got anything for us?
Other than got a new IC 7300, and Greg, GR, sent me an email with all videos and all kinds of stuff. Well, mainly videos that I can learn to use the rig. I've had it, been real busy around the house here, so I've had it on listening, and boy, compared to my old TS440S, this is wonderful. Low, and the signal is magnificent. So I'm looking forward to use that. As a field day, I just have to see what's going on. I'll probably be interested in somewhere. Just need to know what's going on so I can kind of plan for it. It's WD-17.
Well, thank you, Bob, for coming in, and enjoy that new rig. They are fun. Jason, and oh man, my chicken scratch again. KG7DVX. You got anything for us? And you can holler at me if I screwed up your call again.
Yeah, KG7T Tango VX. I don't have anything going on. This is the first time I've been on the radio in a while. I would like to do field day. I have a couple radios if we need to. I do not have any antennas at the moment. I'll probably be shopping for one, but that won't be till next month, so after field day. And that's about it. KG7TVX.
Yes, it has been a while. It's good to hear you. It's good to hear you out there, Jason. And as I was reading it, I knew it was wrong, but I couldn't remember for the life of me what it was. So thanks again for coming out, and I got you on the field day. Like I say, we'll get some ideas together. WY0WY. Anything for the club tonight?
Oh, this is Terry. Good evening, everybody. Nothing new in the radio department, just working a lot, and nothing for field days, so be working.
Well, alrighty. Well, at least you made it in for the club meeting. We appreciate you coming out, and thanks for sticking around. Arnie, WY7ATH, you got anything for us tonight? How are things up north of me?
Well, the snow's gone, sun's out, everything's good. Yeah, haven't been doing too much ham radio. Did have the fun of checking out a nice piece of test gear for MJ, and for field day, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe I'll grab one of the little QRP rigs here and see if, well, I've got a little computer that can run on batteries also, so see if I can do some PSK. That would be about as far as I'm going to go, but I do have some high work to be done, and I'll see where the man lift comes in the schedule when it gets out here.
Sounds good. Well, thank you for coming out tonight, Arnie. And I'm not 100% sure which happened first, if our snow melted or if it blew away. But it's gone now, so that's good. That is the list that I have. Does anybody have any rechecks, or do we have any other anyone else that has made it through the 75 minutes and would like to check in?
KJ7FC.
And 7WY.
All right, Beth, you won. Sorry, I missed you there earlier. What do you got for us this evening? And N7WY after that.
Oh, that's okay. I think when you called me, you didn't come through the radio, so I didn't know that it was my turn. So I did forget some old business. Tim Wisen and I did pick up the Cary Junior High equipment for the club. We did that in Friday morning. Didn't take very long, so I have that equipment here at my house. Break. Also, I want to thank Greg Galka and 7GT. We went and reprogrammed the DMR radios that were checked out from EMA to some of the hams here in town. And so we got those all updated and ready to go. And Jason, KG7TVX, I do still have your radio, so whenever you get a chance, just get a hold of me, and I'll get that back to you.
KC7SNO repeater.
And as far as field day goes, I would be more than happy to help if I can. I'm not sure what my schedule's going to be like yet. But if anybody's interested in doing out at the field, we do have to have the paperwork signed, and they have to mow the place. So yeah, we should be able to get it done in time, but we'll just need to know within the next week or so, couple weeks. And that's all I have. Back to you.
Thank you for that. And that was the first thing on my mind. I knew we had to do a little bit of paperwork, but that's easy, and then a little bit of planning as well. So we'll try to get some people to get some ideas together and go from there. Thanks again. This is WY7AA. Let's go down to N7WY.
WY7AA and 7WY. Good evening, everybody. I'm going to talk about a few things. My bride and I took a 3-week trip. We went from here via Des Moines and Dubuque and Madison, Wisconsin to Pewaukee on the west side of Milwaukee. And before we left, I programmed my TMV71 to listen for all the repeaters I could think of along the way and found it to be very disappointing. I didn't give up. I did the same thing when we went from Pewaukee down to Rogersville, Missouri via Springfield, Illinois, and St. Louis. Found a few repeaters doing something, but generally very inactive. And I already had a route from Rogersville, Missouri through Kansas City and then into Denver and up to here. A little bit of activity in Kansas City, a lot more in Denver. One thing interesting about Denver is that 146.73 gets monitored pretty heavily. Break. Another thing good is that if you call on this repeater, usually there's somebody listening who will talk to you, which I find admirable. Maybe we need to almost form a discipline, I don't know. Another thing, while I was in Missouri, I fired up my FTDX 101MP like VIS has. Fantastic receiver, very, very quiet. It's probably the quietest radio I have ever had. And I felt that the call in 75S3B was exceptional, and I think this thing's even better. Did about 650 contacts on WPXCW and some other less formal things. A lot of lightning, a lot of rain. It was amazing how wet it was down there in Missouri. The Central Oregon DX Club is the group that organizes 7QP. Back in March, I invited every club trustee I could think of in the state to get their club activated for 7QP. One of the trustees sent me back an email that said, you really shouldn't spam everybody. You should just reach out to the clubs. So I had to remind him that he was the trustee for the club. But anyway, given all the effort that we did and also N1TEK, the section manager, did, we activated almost all the counties in Wyoming, and we haven't done that in a long time. Break. Regarding field day, I'm interested. Let's see what we can cook up. Remember, we can have a 1,000-foot radius circle to populate. We ought to be able to maintain safe distance that way and maybe even minimize RF coupling. N7WY.
Well, it sounds like you've been a busy beaver. Thanks for all that, Bob, and I got you on the list. Anyone else have any other rechecks or want to check in for the club meeting? We're going on an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes, so I think we're about wore out the welcome or wore out the repeaters. But one last go around. Any other check-ins or thoughts? Well, I appreciate everybody coming out, listening on the radio tonight, listening to me drone on and on. But it's enjoyable to have everybody get together. I will send out some emails here coming up pretty soon. Whatever we decide, whatever we're allowed to do as far as the July meeting, it'll either be a video conference or an in-person. I will also include some thoughts, some ideas, and we'll see if we can get some consensus going on field day, and we'll go from there. So with that, I'm going to close up the meeting for tonight. Great turnout. I appreciate it all. Break.
7MJ.
Jack sneaking in at the end. What do you got, Jack?
Well, listening, maybe field day, very, very important thing. We need to have a porta potty. Very important.
Yep, that's affirmative. If we do end up having an organized field day, that's a key point that we need to do. So that's why I say we gotta put a couple people's heads together and come up with a few things. If we decide to come up with some, an actual organized event or not. So thanks, Jack. Anything else?
Nothing else. And thanks for doing a grand job there, RJ and 7MJ.
Thank you, sir. I'm going to put a pin in it. We'll open up the repeater for regular use and stick around and chat anybody that would like to. And I'm going to listen because I've already talked too much. Thank you all. I very much appreciate it. This is WY7AA.
7MJ and 7WY.
7WY and 7MJ. Go ahead, Bob.
Earlier today, you commented that my audio was a little soft. I'm going to try something and have you compare what it sounds like now with.
Sounds 100% better now than it did this afternoon.
Okay, well, I want you to have you tell me how it sounds now versus.
Yeah, your audio, Bob, is about 100% better than it was this afternoon when you and Joe and I were on.
Make you to compare it with how it sounds now.
Now it sounds like it did this afternoon.
Yeah, the solution is I was on 146.82.
Okay, that makes a difference.
With Alden. Okay, well, I want to go back and do other fun things. N7WYQRT.
Hi, Bob. N7MJ will be listening.
KJ7FC, KE7BOZ. Nothing heard. KE7BOZ listening.